Hello and welcome to turn 4 of GMT's Fields of Fire 2 by Ben Hull, the Peleliu campaign mission 1, which is the initial beach assault. Glad you could join me again. Right, we're progressing on here. We've got onto the beach, and last turn we had a lucky strike on a heavy machine gun in a bunker up on this card up here, and did very well. We've taken some casualties here, actually on the beach front, and we have lost a few LVTs. Luckily, no passengers in them, but we lost one LVT which retreated away, which took some of the troops away from this mission. Just a couple of corrections. Some people have pointed out. Thanks very much. The first one is that the line of trenches I had were on the wrong cards. That I had them up here, and they actually should be in row 3. Thanks very much. The other one is the reshuffle. What I was doing was when I get the reshuffle card, I immediately reshuffle. What you're supposed to do when you get the reshuffle card, you put it to one side, pull out the cards remaining that you need for the particular action resolution, and then reshuffle. So slight difference there. So I'll try and remember to do that. Right, so let's crack on with the turn. So as usual, our battalion HQ activity check, looking for a HQ, and we don't have one, so they're silent. And then we go on to our command phase. We'll put out the activation markers on the LVTs, the vehicles, on their little automatic run in and back out. And I'll just do that, and then we'll get on with the command display. Right, so that done, we'll just get on with the company HQ draw. +1 as usual for veteran status, and we've got a 4 going up to 5. So 5 commands takes us up to the 9, the maximum. Oops. And who shall we order? Most people are on their saved maximum. The only ones I think are the first sergeant here, the XO, and the gunnery sergeant. So we'll activate those 3. I will just check that we have those available to order about. I'm not sure that's the case. The XO is on the board now, as is, I believe, the gunnery sergeant and the first sergeant. So they're actually on the board, whereas the CO HQ isn't. So CO HQ won't be able to talk to them, I don't think, or I think that's reasonable. So I don't think we can activate them. Well, it makes a huge amount of difference. I mean, there's a lot of commands saved here anyway, and they will get 1 command anyway on initiative. So we'll keep the CO HQ at maximum then, which is a good place to be for the rest of the mission. He's just slightly off camera. There we go. That's better. Right. So that's the activation segment, because not really activating anybody, just saving commands. And now it's initiative. Again, everybody except for the staff HQs are at maximum. So we will just move the first sergeant, the XO, and the gunnery sergeant up. Now, do we want them to do something? Well, they're still stuck in LVTs at the moment, so the answer is no. We'll we'll just save them again, which is what we'll do here. Right, and that leaves us with our good old general initiative segment, which we'll draw a card for, and we get 2 commands to deal with. So let's move it all back to the board and have a think. So who do we have available to work with? There is these units here, which came out of pinning because there's no VOF marker on their cards. We have the machine gunners here who did such good work last time, and these guys here who they did have a VOF marker on, so the pinning stays. So maybe it's worth one of these or 2 of these units becoming unpinned. I believe we had an assault team here somewhere. There we go. So I think, and carrying the smoke, so I think I will try and get those guys unpinned. Now an assault team is line quality. Every other limited action team is green. The assault team is line, and line for unpinning, that's the rally action. To unpin will of course be 2 cards, plus or minus green or veteran. So it's just the 2 cards, and we're looking for a rally. The 2 cards, and we come up with a blank and a rally. Wonderful. Okay, this means that assault team is now not pinned. However, I've just thought that everybody's still firing into that card, so maybe not the greatest idea to move on to there. Although what we could do, if I raise onto this card, I mean, there's still a volume of fire coming out here. What could do is put him on this card here. It'll give us a potential contact, but at least we're moving forward. And it's an assault team. He only has point blank range on the team. You can see here, it's automatic fire, but only point blank range. Tommy guns, I suppose. Yeah, as it says on as the picture says on the counter. So I think we will do that. So we will move the assault team for the second order, general initiative, to that spot there, and put on an exposed marker, of course. So there's an advance of sorts. Hopefully now HQs are just about to get in. We can organise and get things moving. At the moment, it's just everybody for himself on the beach at the moment. But as you see, it can be quite dangerous to get the HQs coming in too early. However, one thing to note, and this will be interesting later on in the turn, is that the company HQ is coming on here this turn, and so therefore will be fired on by that incoming. So it's yeah, that may be a bit of hot in mouth moment there. Let's see if a company HQ either disappears or gets killed or a casualty or whatever, or reduced to a team. So that may be a bit of a problem. But anyway, that's how it is in the game. Right, enough babbling about. We've done our general initiative, so now it's over to the Japanese, where we have the higher HQ. And we have an HQ symbol there, as you can see. So we do a randomizer for 10. That's 6. Let's go and have a look at that. Right, the that event is actually Japanese reinforcements. We're going to just get away with this. It says any IJA occupied card, we don't have one anymore, adjacent to US occupied card adds a rifle squad along trenches if available. So, right, we would get a reinforcement to that bunker card here if the heavy machine gun team was still there, but it's not, so luckily we get away with that. So if we'd had that last turn, it would have been tricky, because it would be a whole squad. That's 3 steps rather than just the one that the team was. But hey, got away with that. No enemy activity check, because there's no enemy activity, no enemy teams or squads or counters on the board right at this moment, even though we're shooting everything into those dunes in that bunker at the moment still. Right, so once that happens, we're on to the mutual retreat and capture phase. So our paralysed teams are not under any threat, I believe, or they need to be unpinned but under fire. Nothing's under fire, so they won't retreat. Do we have a litter team? We haven't got an unpinned litter team with a casualty either. Nothing particularly here. Okay, so nothing really happens on the retreat and capture. So on to the vehicle phase. Right, so I will just work on the vehicles withdrawing from the beach here. So I will move them and flip over each of those. And we don't have one here. Then we'll withdraw these, or advance these. So this one will advance and unload. Which gives us our first HQ on the beach, which is the Company First Sergeant grade. And they are exposed. And the next is we'll worry about these last because they're affected by fire. This chap withdraws. However, what I will do is, due to the lack of counters, I will use him for that LVT coming in. Great. Right, we're left with these 3 LVTs to deal with, and they will be subject to fire. So we'll do the empty one first, and we are, as usual, on the 0 addition to the AT modifier, looking for 6 or more as what we'd really like, and we have a 2. That's not great. I think that's knocked out. That's actually retreating, which is where it was going anyway, so nothing particularly lost there. Now, significant ones here. That's moving forward. So moving into there, we get fired on from there again at the 0. So let's look at the AT value. Superb. AT value of 9. That's a result of 9. That's no effect. It's a miss. So they're able to move in and unload. So my luck with these around the surf area continues. I think I've actually been quite fortunate in this game so far as well. Actually, it could well have turned into a complete bloodbath, but it's actually done fairly well. And that's the executive officer, the XOHQ, on the board as well. That's great. So 2 now. Now that one's already moved, so they will be fired on at the end of the vehicle phase. This guy moves forward, which I think is the gunnery sergeant. Again, 0 modifier. We have a 4. Now a 4 is a pinned result, so not too bad. So they're buttoned up, but they do move. With a pinned result. Okay, that's all them done. These guys with activations markers to put on top of them, I would do last, and that'll walk in, that'll walk in, that'll walk in, and that'll walk in. Well, swim in. Hardly walking. Right. Okay. So at the end of the vehicle phase, these 4 units will be fired on as well because they're still under a incoming marker. So we'll work with the 2 empty ones first and then the 2 full ones, just to keep the suspense going. So this chap first, there's no point in randomising exactly how we do it, is a 4, which is a pin result, not particularly relevant. This chap here is a 9, he's quite happy, and this is one of our platoon HQs here, so this is quite an important one. Oh, a 7, brilliant, that's fine. But then we're on to our company HQ in an LVT. There's a big card here. Let's see what the result is. A 5, and a 5 is pinned as well. So again, pinned is survivable. Wow. Kind of got away with that, I think. We had 1 retreat, and that was about it. Yeah, which wasn't particularly relevant. So I pretty much got all of the company on the board, save for a few casualties. What's that? 4 casualties, which is it's pretty good going actually. I've been really lucky. Even that turn was quite lucky. I could have lost several platoon, well, a couple of platoon HQs here, maybe the XO and the gunnery sergeant. So yeah, it's that's quite lucky, I think. I've just realised I haven't unloaded these. There's nothing to say that a pinned unit does not unload. So these guys will unload and exposed. The other thing I just realised I've missed is that when a vehicle unloads, the vehicle itself is exposed. So you did put an exposed marker on them. I don't believe that's been particularly relevant, to be honest. But so we like to make sure we do it right. That's that's we have all that covered, I think. Oh no, exposed marker here as well, for what it's worth. Right, that's the vehicles done, and so we're down into the combat phase. So the first thing we do is we will remove these markers. Begone, pesky things. So the surf zone is now quiet, hopefully, and nothing else will appear. There are, with some of the battalion interventions on the enemy side, things can happen, but those have gone. And we then evaluate any potential contact markers. So we have this one to work on, and as we have no volumes of fire going on, we are on no contact. This means that for a potential contact A, we get an automatic. So maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but hey, we've got to keep moving forward. We've only got a limited time. This is turn 4. We only have 10 turns, and we have to get one of these 2 cards cleared of the enemy, and it still looks a long way away, so getting on that card at this point would be very, very nice. Still, anyway, let's have a look and see what the potential contact is, and we're on row 3 here on the chart. So let's look at the randomizer. On the 10 is 5. So let's have a look at the available. Right, so we are on row 3, which is there, and 5 comes up with a 7, suspiciously like the HMG we had before. Let's see if that really is the case. Yes, actually, we can move on there, but I didn't do it, so we'll just ignore that then. Never mind. So we're on -3, -2, and -2 is a hit, and we're on line quality for the assault team, and line quality is a C, a casualty. So oh dear, that really was a very clever thing to do. Assault team is gone, and we have a casualty instead. Right. Okay, so beyond that, it's just clean up. So removing exposed and moved fired markers and pin markers where there's no VOF. So I will do that. We don't remove the pins from the vehicles though. That's only done in the phase, in the vehicle phase. But yeah, I'll just get that done, and that'll be the end of the turn. So, well, we've got everybody on pretty much. So yeah, onwards and upwards from next turn, turn 5, see if we can get a bit further. But we do have a pesky heavy machine gun here, which even though it's got a restricted arc, it's only going to be firing down here. Something we'll have to take care of. Right. Okay, well, thanks for listening, and hope to see you for turn 5. Thanks for watching.